No matter what we do, people will keep on dating. While dating, a lot of people get confused. They don't know what to say during dating. And they kind of start their conversation wrongly or start the questions from the ground up, which will lead to the person either being confused or outrightly zoning out, being like, what is this person talking about? So I'm here to hold your hands while I take you through 10 questions that you should be asking during dating. How to place those questions, when to ask that question, and how to ask the questions. Let's go. We'll put the first ones into icebreaker questions. Let's start with something light, something fun, something easy, something the person can ease into simply without thinking too deep about it. Number one, what are you passionate about? We are all passionate about something. It could be that the person is passionate about their goals, their career, or their hobbies. The person will ease you into their passion. And please remember, as the person is telling you about their passion, also be conversational. Listen, put in cues when it's necessary. Yeah, no, oh, as. Remember to share your own passion too. Second icebreaker question is, what's your favorite way of spending a weekend? Questions like this help you to know if your lifestyle align, because it's very important to be with somebody that enjoy the kind of things you enjoy. The person could be like, oh, over the weekend I like to go to the movies, or I like to read a book, take a nap after the long week from work, go out for a nice dinner, or go out for a walk, or get into fitness, jog, do a lot of things. Like, try to understand what that person enjoy. If it's somebody that is a traveler, they might be like, oh, I like to visit any city that I've not been to, at least within something that I can easily get to and be back on Sunday evening or Monday, first thing on Monday morning. Just try to know whether that person likes the same thing that you like, that your lifestyle align, whether both of you like to unwind with the same type of things. The next type of questions you should be asking are about values and compatibility, because it's important to know if both of you have the same values and whether you are compatible enough. The person might be like, what they find fulfilling in a relationship is a partner that is very honest, or somebody that is very passionate about their goal, or they can say that they find it fulfilling when their compatibility align and they are able to reach goals together, whether the relationship leads to marriage or not. Different people have different things that they find fulfilling in a relationship. You can also ask the person what is their stand about family. You need to know whether this person wants to build a family, because not everybody wants family and kids. The way they talk about it will really help you know whether they are really passionate about that or they are just talking. You get what I mean? Don't be like, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Make sure you cross as many bridges as you can during dating. You can also ask questions like, what does work-life balance mean to you? Or how do you manage your work and your life? How do you balance both of them out? Because some people are all about work, work, work. There's no life. Some people are all about life, 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 and little work. And some people are all about 50-50 for both of them, or 80-20. Ask that person how they balance out the stress that comes from their job and how they manage to unwind, where they go to, what they do to balance this life out. Number 3 type of question you should be asking are emotional questions that helps you to understand how emotional intelligent they are and their goals. It will help you to understand how emotionally intelligent that person is and whether they have goals, how they are meeting it, or how they intend to meet them. Okay, because the last time I did a video like this, when I was explaining questions to ask in relationship, I was telling you the way to do it step by step, but now I'm trying to make it a bit more detailed, a bit more intense, for you to understand the gravity of those questions and why it is very, very necessary and crucial for you to know these things. Ask the person questions like how they manage conflicts. You might not necessarily be like conflict. You paint a scenario for the person. If something like this happened, how do you handle it? So basically, you are trying to understand how that person handled conflict. If you are very attentive, if you're very careful, if you're someone that reads in between the line, you will understand that person's temperament. You will understand how that person jump into conclusions, or if that person is toxic, or a gaslighter, a manipulator, and things like that. Be very, very attentive when you ask questions like this. You can also ask questions like where they see themselves in 5 years. Make sure you ask this question in a light way. Don't make these questions too serious so that the person will not be like, am I in an interview? Okay, try to paint a scenario that will align to that question being brought up. I've talked about this and I'm still telling you, please try not to make this thing to look like interview style questions. Okay, try to make it as light, as airy as possible, and the person will tell you about their life goals. Again, remember to chip in yours so that you see where both of you come in, or whether both of you are looking at the same type of goals or seeing yourself in a similar place in the next 5 years. You can also chip in at this point what they have learned in their previous relationship, in past relationship, the biggest lessons they have learned. This kind of question will help you to understand whether that person have grown, have become more emotionally aware. Some people will start playing the victim card. No, I've not learned anything. No, there's nothing to learn because I didn't do anything. He's the one that needs to go and learn, or she's the one that needs to go and learn. They start playing that emotional card immediately, where they are telling you that they are not the problem. The person is. So there is nothing for that person to learn. The honest truth is that there's always something to learn in every situation. Everything that we experience in life is either for experience or for us to learn a lesson. And most of the time, even in the experience, there's a lesson to learn. Even in the lesson, it's also an experience, if you get what I mean. So try to understand if this person is somebody that's like, oh, I didn't learn anything because there's nothing to learn. So the final type of question you should be asking are deal breakers and fun questions, because at this point the dating should be winding down and you don't want to go home or leave that conversation on that intense level. Do you get? This help you also to understand what that person will not be expecting from you in future, and also make the conversation light and end in a soft way. It's best to always find out early if there are non-negotiables for the person in a relationship. So ask that person what their deal breaker is. It's better you know that the deal breakers of this person, what you can do about it, whether it's something you can handle or you should just walk out of the door. Okay? So ask them about their deal breakers, listen attentively, because most of the time people are not joking. You might think, oh, this is something that they are going to forget. You don't know that most people's deal breakers come from experience, either what they have seen in their family or what they have experienced personally. The truth is that most people's deal breaker is actually a deal breaker. And finally, you can ask the person, what's something hidden about you that most people don't know? If you make it fun and airy, it becomes a fun question, which is what it's meant to be. Okay? Try to make it fun and airy because it helps you to understand a deeper level of their personality. And it's also a fun question because that's the point they're telling you something that might have happened to them in high school that nobody knows about. And from somebody sharing the experience of why nobody knows this thing, it's also a way for them to tell you maybe they're embarrassed about it, they're too happy about it, they feel like they have disappointed themselves or their family members, and that's why they're keeping it to themselves. So you have to be attentive when people are telling you stuff like that. Remember that relationship is not all about dating, going out, having fun. Relationship is a time for you to find whether you have a deeper connection, whether this thing will lead you to somewhere serious. It's also a way for you to know whether you are asking the right question. That is what this video is for you, to make sure you are asking the right question. Remember, most of the time, this is a bonus tip. Always ask the person what their plans are for you in that relationship. Please ask that question. You will never know how this question saves you. What are their plans for you in that relationship? I'm not saying it's a first date question. It's a progressive date question, if you get what I mean. Ask them, try to understand this thing. The more deeper the relationship goes, ask this question at interval. Before you decide who to marry or whether that person you have dated, you have been in a relationship with, is worthy or ready for you to marry, ask them what are their plans for you. What are their plans for themselves in that relationship? Very important bonus tip. And if there's any other question that I forgot to mention, please leave it in the comment section. Let's talk about it, okay? And please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to turn on the bell notification so that you'll be the first person to get notified anytime I post a new video. Remember to share this video to everyone. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.